And start again. So we've got a presentation prepared for you today. And if you guys remember the presentation and the go live that me and Laurie done a couple of weeks ago, you'll remember that it's based around kind of the business mindset and the law of attraction this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump straight into a screen share and start cracking on with that really. Da, da, da. Right then. Got one of these snazzy presentations again.
You're so good with these.
I really like them. Right then. So welcome to week 2. And as I just said, it's all about kind of the mindset and law of attraction this week. So to get us started, firstly, we just wanted to kind of talk about setting yourself up for success. So in order to do this, we're always so focused about being online and kind of developing a brand, developing a following and helping your leads and everything like that, which is all great. However, you do need to remember to take some time for yourself. Like whether it is 30 minutes, 90 minutes or whatever throughout the day, you just need to remember that sometimes you need to like switch off and detach and just sit in a library, sit in a coffee shop, just somewhere where you can turn your phone off or your emails and just really have some time to yourself. And kind of myself and Laurie really think this is important because you can get so caught up in like the online world. And I know Ryan and Rob and everyone have spoke about it before. Sometimes you just sit there scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through Facebook. And before you know it, an hour, 2 hours or whatever has passed. And you're like, what have I actually just been doing? Like literally nothing. So yeah, that's firstly what I wanted to kind of touch on with you guys, because I do think it will really help, even if like you just disconnect from everything for 30 minutes and I don't know, for all of a sudden you start getting new ideas about ads and kind of, I don't know, different avenues you can go down and different messages you can send to people. And all of a sudden those 30 minutes have really helped your business instead of just scrolling through Facebook and looking at other people's ads. So yeah, that's it really on the kind of 90-minute time blocks and just kind of stepping away from the laptop, stepping away from the phone and just being you for a short while. Also something I find that, I mean, I didn't really struggle with this just because I was very open with my friends and family and my work colleagues when I started with Project Q1. But some people do struggle to tell friends and family what they've got into really and what they're starting and this journey they want to kind of go on, which I completely understand. But what you need to remember is that other people's opinions aren't yours and you shouldn't really let them affect your opinion. Everyone's going to have objections and everyone's going to say, oh, they've got a completely different mindset to you really. They're going to say, well, why don't you just work? You know, that's a secure job. You get your money, you can come home, you can pay your bills, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's going to have a different mindset and you will have people around you that completely support you. There will be kind of a few people that are like, yeah, do you know what? That's absolutely amazing what you're doing. I completely support you, go for it. But there will be people that are concerned or, I don't know, don't believe in it or they're just a little bit negative to it. So firstly, what I'd say is something I kind of controlled at the start was I told my mum, I told kind of my best friend, and I told probably like 2 people at work because I knew that not all of them would understand. And then as like a couple of weeks in, I started kind of spreading the word and letting everybody else know. So yeah, that's really kind of how I'd recommend doing it, in a sense of if you're not completely comfortable telling people or you think that people will have objections, they don't really need to know the ins and outs of it until you're ready to tell them. And just be selective yourself with who you're telling, just because you don't want that negativity put on you and you don't want that affecting your mindset towards the business and your success as well. So yeah, as I say, I just kind of control who you tell and when you tell them, and they'll see the results themselves anyway. So if you do have any kind of concerns or anyone that's really kind of against what you're doing, you can always pop your coach, me or Laurie, a message anyway, and we'll try and give you kind of the best advice that we can to get through that really. because it can be a really tough time on yourself, because you've just stepped out of your comfort zone. You're doing something that you might not even be completely sure of yourself to start with, and then you've got people kind of battling against you, so it can be really, really difficult. So yeah, if you are struggling with anything like that, just pop one of us a message and we'll be more than happy to help you. Right then, so if any of you guys want to jump out and tell me what you think about an accountability partner, like your opinion on them, or whether you think it would help you or not, please jump out and let me know. Basically, when I carried out some questionnaires within our Project Q1 official group, I think around some crazy statistic of like 93% of people said an accountability partner would help them, which is great. So we've popped it in here, and that's really just to kind of introduce you all to the idea of an accountability partner. It's down to you to kind of find your own person that's going to help you along this journey. So, Rach, you're definitely what I need. Yeah, so you need somebody that you can be brutally honest with. Someone that, for me, in our first set of 90-day goals back in September, mine was Adam. And I'd literally be like, mate, I haven't done a morning routine. I just can't get into it. And you need someone that you can just be like straight up with that, do you know what, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Have you got any tips for me? And kind of bounce ideas off each other and help each other learn and grow. So yeah, you absolutely need somebody that's going to be brutally honest with you and that you can be completely honest to as well. And what you need to do is you need to like talk to them about your goals and talk to them about what you want to achieve. If it's a morning routine you want to get down to a T, tell them, look, in the next 30 days, in the next 14 days, I'm going to do a morning routine every single day. And every morning check in with them. Do you know what? I didn't do it, or I've done it start to finish. It's been really great. So just have that person that you can rely on each other to keep each other on track, and it will really motivate you and force you to kind of succeed then as well. And yeah, just kind of be really clear about what you expect from the person. So if you need somebody that's going to be on your case kind of every single day, or if you just need to check in with someone once a week because you've got quite a hectic, busy life anyway, make that clear and just say to them, look, we'll check in on a Saturday or we'll check in on a Monday, and just really set your own kind of rules for how it's going to work together, just so that it's something that works for the both of you. And just make sure that you are revisiting your goals. So like I say, if you want to kind of achieve a 90-day goal of a morning routine and get to like 2A, 3A, etc., check in after 30 days and say, look, how are you getting on towards that? Have you had any sign-ups? Have you had any leads? What have you been talking to them about? How are they getting on? And that's all that's really about. It's just you being completely honest with yourself about what you want and how you're going to get there, and being completely honest with another person and saying, look, I know these are my weaknesses and I know these are my strengths, and I know this is how I'm going to develop, and I know the opportunities, and just kind of really work on yourself with the help of somebody else. Rachel popped in that would really help her. Who else have we got? Ditto, Harriet. Need somebody to kick me into gear. How do you guys feel about being each other's accountability partners?
I was going to say I've already got one.
Have you? Who have you got?
Me and Tashi.
That's great.
We're properly trying to keep each other going because she's been away for a little while in South Africa, so she needs kicking up the arse and I need kicking up the arse. But Rach, I'm more than happy to double up with you as well.
Not sure whether she'll jump out and talk. Where's she gone? No, she's probably not going to talk.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me? Yeah, just in case the baby cries. Yeah, sure. It's fine. I mean, I can always ask Camila as well, because she is technically my accountability partner, sort of. But I'm the one who's lacking in, communicating with her the things that I'm not doing, and I'm not being honest with all the stuff that I'm not doing, really.
Yeah. And it's hard to kind of admit when you're not doing things, because I don't know, it is that kind of disappointment in yourself sometimes, but without recognizing what you're not doing, you're not going to improve it either. So definitely check in with Camila. If you want to take Harriet up on the offer as well, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay, I guess when someone I don't know, when you can't see the person's not visible for a while, maybe Harriet can say, where have you been? You know, I don't see you posting anything on your page. I don't see you running any ads. Where are you? What's happening? That kind of thing. So.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it works a lot like a gym partner. Like if you're going to the gym by yourself and you haven't got a partner that's supposed to be there waiting for you, nobody knows if you haven't gone. But if you're checking in with somebody every single day or every single week and they're saying, did you do this, did you do that, how are you getting on, you can't then lie, because you're only ruining it for yourself. So I think that would be so useful.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anyone else that's kind of catching the replay or that's on the call that hasn't spoke out just yet, if you guys want an accountability partner, I'd recommend just popping it into the 30-day chat and just saying, look guys, I'm looking for an accountability partner. Is anybody else looking to team up, or is anyone else free? And then that way, yeah, you can just kind of set out your expectations for each other and tell each other your goals and just really motivate each other and keep each other on track. So I think that'd be really good for you all if you could find an accountability partner if you think that would work for you. Then please do so. Right then. For some reason we're not working. I think it's because I've clicked off it. Oh, there we go. Right then. So we've got down here a weekly call with your coach. So this might not necessarily be a Zoom call or a phone call. It could just be like a weekly check-in with your coach. And this is really important for me as a coach as well, just because sometimes I find that I'm chasing other people trying to find out how their business is. And that is because I really want to kind of see their progress. I want to help them. I want to build them up. I want to kind of push them forward towards their goals. So for me, if you guys are checking in with your coach and they're offering you advice, whether it's via a call, if you and your coach kind of discuss that and that is feasible for you both in terms of when your availability is, that's great. Whether it is just kind of, I don't know, you guys checking on a Monday night through a variation of messages or voice notes or whatever, but just make sure that you are getting that support and you're also providing that information to your coach. And it's a little bit like Rachel said, in terms of she's not updating Camila because she knows that she's not doing stuff, and which is why I find myself chasing other people, because there are times when you're slacking, but you need to be aware that you're slacking and you need to own that. You need to own that you're not living up to what you could do and you need to improve that. So for me, keeping in contact with your coach and kind of your upline is one of the most important things, because unless you know how to develop your business, it's not going to develop. And that's the reality, that's the truth of it. So make sure that you are kind of checking in and you know the next steps to take, really.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So my coach is Ryan, and don't get me wrong, he's great and everything, but they're usually really busy. It comes across as really busy. Is there someone else I can get in touch with sometimes? Because obviously there's a time zone crossover as well, sometimes depending on where he is in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just got back to the UK, so for once you're in the same time zone. But generally, if you want to message me, I'm more than happy to kind of catch up with you and talk you through things. I'm not going to, I don't know, offer up anyone else because I don't know what their schedules are like at the moment. But you can absolutely message me and I'll go through everything and whatever you need to discuss.
All right. Okay, thank you.
That's all right. Yeah, Ryan and Rob and Nate can be a little bit hard to pin down. Send them enough messages and they'll get back to you. That's all I've got to say on that. So kind of, again, discussing the whole owning your kind of, I don't know, inconsistency. It brings us nicely onto procrastination. And sometimes I've found in the past personally that I procrastinate out of fear of getting something wrong sometimes, or not doing it to my full ability, or not doing it right. So I just wanted to kind of discuss with you guys. Obviously, last week we touched on self-affirmations and building yourself up. And I think that's one of the kind of killers towards procrastination, because if you are confident within yourself and your abilities and you know what you're working towards, why are you procrastinating? You've got no reason not to do that because you're so focused and driven on it. So I think so long as your goals are in line with the steps you're taking daily, procrastination won't be as big of a problem. However, if you know that you are slacking, you are going to be procrastinating. And again, it's just kind of owning up to that. It's knowing that you're not doing everything you could be. And each and every one of us can sit here and say, you know, there's definitely more I could have done this week or last week, or at some point within starting this, there's definitely more you could have done. So yeah, just, I think the main way to kind of combat procrastination is just head on. You just need to sit there and go, do you know what, I know that I'm wasting time. I'm just looking through Facebook for the sake of it, or I'm just searching YouTube because I don't want to do that other thing. And you just need to kind of tackle that yourself and really kind of, I don't know, take a hard, long look in the mirror and just be like, come on, move yourself on now. Give yourself a kick up the bum, really. And yeah, just believing in yourself. So down to self-affirmations that we spoke about last week again, I think that will kill that procrastination. I personally have 2 lists of self-affirmations at the moment. I had one that was quite an easy read and quite easy to believe, because obviously you do have that wall that you're still batting away these self-affirmations. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I am happy, but not all the time, and I am positive, but I can be negative. But you need to truly believe it. Like, I am positive, I am happy, I am confident. Like, you need to believe those. So I've got a list of quite easy ones that were like things I already knew about myself, but sometimes you have that self-doubt. And so long as you keep repeating those, and once you believe those, you can then kind of move on and get a new list of affirmations. So I have now another list of affirmations, which I find a little bit more difficult to absorb at the moment because they're still new, and I'm still kind of batting those ideas away. But if you focus on the ones that are quite easy at first and then kind of double them up and then move on to the more kind of harder ones. So like I've got in my journal, just here, give me a moment, I shared it on one of our groups actually once. So I've got, you are powerful, you are loved, you are surrounded by miracles, you are ready, you are courageous, you are kind, you are happy, you are confident, you are funny, you are beautiful, you are bright, you are special, you are adventurous, you are an action taker, you are positive, you are more than enough, you are connected to the universe, you are in control, you are talented, you are grateful. So that's the list of like my easy affirmations, I like to call them. And then I now have a new list just here of my harder affirmations, because they're still absorbing into me as a person. So those at the moment, I'll just read a few for you because they're quite long. I am the creator of my life. I build its foundations and I choose its contents. Today I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. My body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, and my soul is tranquil. I have been given endless talents which I begin to utilise today. And then another one, I radiate beauty, charm and grace. So there's kind of a list of 30 just here. And like I say, they are, as you can see, the difference between the two, they are quite, I don't know, a little bit more harder to absorb perhaps. So at the moment I go through both of those of a morning. But for you guys, you'll know if you're doubting your kind of self-affirmations and what you're telling yourself, because you'll sit there and you're like, oh, yeah, go, whatever. So just kind of take note of that and keep telling yourself it. Like, I don't know, if you think that I am happy, if you're like, yeah, I am happy, but not all the time, just keep telling yourself, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. And the more you say it, you're going to be happy and you're going to be confident and you're going to be bright, and you all are anyway. But just really kind of stick to those and focus on them. Right then, we'll move on to Facebook. Can I
add something there?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're struggling with the I am happy, it's proven in science that you can just like fake a smile, and faking a smile will instantly release dopamine. So that's the happy words. But yeah, that's the happy hormone. So fake a smile, say I am happy, and it might do you a bit of good.
Right then, spinning back, we're cutting him out. So just to touch on kind of Facebook, if you are already affiliated, there are now 3 GPM groups, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm involved in 3. So if you're not in all 3 of those, make sure that your coach adds you to the GPM groups via Facebook. And also just a warning, just to be aware, kind of, I know myself, a few other people have had kind of guys from all over the world, especially girls, add you as a friend. I personally won't accept anyone unless, one, they're on, because I now run a funnel, if they're on one of my team's Google Sheets, I'll accept them. If I can find their picture in the Project Q1 official group, I'll accept them. If they have messaged me and they say, look, I've seen your ad, or I've seen someone's ad, I'm really interested, blah, 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 I'll accept them. If they are friends with Nate, Ryan, or Rob, or Adam, or Richard, a guy really is the key for me. If they are friends with some of the guys within the community, great, again, I'll accept them. However, if they are just friends with Rachie, Harriet, Anna, whoever else, if it's all friends and Camila, etc., unless they send me a direct message, I'm not going to accept them. I think I have a list of about 30 guys currently that are pending friend requests. And I'm not accepting them until they send me a message, because the amount of times I've had people go around my Facebook profile, liking and commenting beautiful on pictures, I'm over it. So just be aware that kind of, unless, if people are friends with, if it's a guy and they're only friends with girls, just be aware that kind of they could just be stalking you for the sake of stalking you. And they might not necessarily be involved or want to be involved with Project Q1. Okay, ladies?
Yeah. Can I jump in on that? There's this guy, his not even, he wasn't even his real name. His name is John Miller, just be aware. He just had friends on his page. I don't even know if that's a real, like, who that person is. I just deleted them. I deleted him when I found that it's not really his real name, and he's not the only one. I don't know. So I have to consider that.
Yeah, definitely.
Consider that advice.
Yeah. As I say, unless they've got kind of a few guys in common, or I can find them around kind of the Project Q1 group or through ads or something like that, I won't accept them now, because I get all kinds of crazy messages as well. So I'd just rather not. But yeah, so that's just a word of warning for you guys. The internet is a wonderful and weird place. So yeah, just be prepared for that. There we go. So in terms of stress management, so our next little slide that we've got is about balance. But I kind of want to touch on these two at the same point. And also coming back to the start of this presentation is sometimes you need to take a break. You need to step away from the computer, you need to spend some time with family, and you need to breathe. I know myself and Harriet have had a call once where she needed to breathe. So just be aware of that, guys. Take 30 minutes and just step away and do some meditation if you like meditation, do yoga, go for a walk, just anything. Just step away and have some time to yourself, because you can get so wrapped up in the online world, and you need to understand that life is about balance. It's about work, family, friends. It's about kind of having time to yourself and really focusing on building this kind of business as well. So really, really important for me, actually, is just creating that work-life balance. And I think that you guys should really focus on that. I can spend hours and hours and hours scrolling on Facebook or liking your guys' stuff, and my mum will come home from work and she'll be like, what have you done all day? And I'm like, I have literally no idea. Like, I've just been stalking everyone's Facebooks, liking their stuff, watching all their go lives, creating videos. And then kind of on the evening I do these calls with you guys, so all day you're on the go. And especially when you guys start looking at leaving work and stuff, you do need to create that balance where you just have a day or 30 minutes, 90 minutes where you just step away, turn everything off and just close your mind down from the online world. And then that brings us to the law of attraction. And in terms of, so how the law of attraction kind of ties into everything we've spoke about tonight is that if you are getting too caught up, you could create a negative mindset. And by doing that, in the terms of the law of attraction, you're going to attract negativity or things that aren't so good. So that's why it's important to step away and just take some time for yourself. And yeah, kind of, we speak about the law of attraction a lot. And if you haven't kind of looked into it previously, it basically is what you think and what you believe comes back to you. How you act comes back to you. It's basically like karma. What goes around comes around. In simple terms, is the law of attraction. But yes, so you need to really kind of focus on being positive, focus on your goals, focus on being driven, and also try not to get too stressed out by everything. And yeah, just really kind of attract the best. Like if you were thinking, what do I want to happen in the next 3 months? And it's all positive, it's all good, it's all happy, and you're getting all these results. Like, you need to be that today for that to come tomorrow. There's no kind of hoping that it will come, no matter how you are. Anyone got any questions or input? No? Right then. So also down here we've got kind of the books that are recommended. Obviously The Magic, really great book for any of you that haven't read it yet. All about kind of being grateful, being positive, being happy for what you've got now in order to attract more in the future. Also got The Secret, The Secret to Money app. Laurie's popped that in there. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but The Secret generally is now on Netflix. So if you guys want to watch it, if you can't get around to reading it, it's about 1.5 hours long. So the same as a movie, really. So make sure you go ahead and watch that. And just any kind of like money, law of attraction, anything that's going to bring positivity into your life, focus on that. Don't focus on the negative, and don't let people that have a negative mindset affect you. Everyone's on a different journey, and yours, I don't know, is not in line with theirs perhaps, but you need to recognize that and maybe go a separate way, which is really hard to do, but it will benefit you in the long run. And so you guys, I think most of you by now should have seen Mary's go live on the Global Mastermind about vision boards. So obviously you guys are very kind of up to date with the effects of vision boards and how they help. So yeah, basically this is just kind of your mind absorbs pictures and images better than it does kind of visual words and paragraphs, etc. And that your vision board should really make you happy and make you kind of driven towards achieving that goal. Let me see if I can jump out of this screen share a minute. My vision board's a little bit crazy, but I will show you guys. Give me 1 minute. Right. Ta-da! So, in the middle, it says, first in the mind and then in reality. So this is my vision board. This side is all travel related. So those are all places that I want to go, mainly around Sri Lanka, Bali, Southeast Asia, and South America. And then I've got like pictures of the team on there as well. So we've got our last meetup on there. You might see Danielle, Charisse, Camila. We've also got Ryan towards the top and Richard. So that's to kind of get me focused on this community and keep me driven towards that. I've got around here dotted on 6A2, 6A2-2, more positivity in terms of freedom, to always give more, to be flexible, to be adventurous, to be inspirational. And they're just kind of things that are going to drive me. So your vision board should really be all about you. It's what you want out of life. So just remember that and make sure that it makes you happy at the end of the day. That's what it's there for. Mine's hung on my bedroom wall, so I see it every single day. Jump back into the screen share just to talk about the manifestation. So very much like, I'm sorry guys, I've got such a cold. It must sound horrendous through this microphone. So very much like the vision boards. When you guys all first joined Project Q1 and you completed your coaching call, there was a section on there that told you to describe your perfect day and to use all of your senses and really focus on why that is your perfect day. Now, it took me a long time to kind of revisit this, if I'm honest, just because I wrote it on my questionnaire and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, it's done. It was just because it had to be done, essentially. Like it was something that I wanted, but it was a means to an end. It was to get the questionnaire done. Recently, as recent as kind of 3 weeks ago, I wrote out a new manifestation goal, and this one talks about, I'll talk you guys through the first paragraph just because I'm that nice. Ignore how cheesy I am though, okay? It's titled Living the Dream. It says, this morning I woke up in a beach cabin at the Jungle Beach Resort in Trincomalee, Sri Lanka. It's the 11th of September 2018 and Tom's just jumped out of bed and opened up the cabin doors. And as I lay there with the ocean breeze coming into the cabin, I can't help but smile from ear to ear, thinking, we are here, we have done it. So that's the first paragraph. And it's just really kind of focusing on that literally like that perfect day. This goes from start to finish. It talks about how I'm hiding from the sun because I don't want to get burnt on the first day, and how I'm catching up with the team over lunch, and then I go to an Asian market to do some shopping. So, and just really kind of focusing on the senses of the Asian market as well. So you guys, like, you just need to focus on something that's really going to drive you. Again, it's like having that kind of that accountability partner. It's someone or something that's going to drive you and push you towards that goal. Whether it's I don't know, for you, Rachel, whether it's a family holiday somewhere and the kids are playing on the beach and they're running around in the sand, or whatever that might be. Whether, I don't know, Goncalo, whether you go back to Portugal and spend some time there. Harriet, you get some selfies, landscape whilst on holiday to use as ads. It could literally be anything, but just make sure that it's down and you're reading it aloud and you're really focusing on that and it's driving you towards your goals. But yeah, that's it in terms of the presentation today. And basically it's just really to kind of get you in the right mindset of looking towards the future and not being too kind of caught up in today. It's really focusing on where you want to go and what you want to do. If you guys have any questions regarding that or anything at all, let me know now.
I have a question, but it's not related to the mindset or personal development. It's related to ads. Can I ask that?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I have this weird. Okay, I have 2 questions. One of them is, can you in your ad target like a specific gender, or does Facebook hate that? Like does Facebook think that would be biased or whatever, too gender specific? Like if I say I'm calling all female teachers between the ages of blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
That's fine.
When you set up your ad anyway, in the targeting, it will ask you to select men or women. I think if you selected men and then in your ad copy we're calling for women, they'd be like, what are you doing? But I think calling out for women and just targeting women would be absolutely fine. I've done it previously, kind of calling men or calling women.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Tom's doing it right now, he says.
Yeah, I'm doing women now as well.
Yeah.
But it's okay in the ad copy to say that. Like, I mean, yeah, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. But yeah, I'll double check that I click just women. That would be funny.
Yeah, that would be the only thing. I think if you selected the other gender or both, they'd be like...
It would be a waste of money anyway, right?
Yeah, definitely. Did you have another question?
Okay, I get this weird arrow. I can paste it in the chat. I don't know if it will allow me. But it seems that... Let me see if it's going to help. I don't know if it's going to work. Oops. It's this weird arrow next to my ad. You know how you have your picture next to your ad in Ads Manager? It looks like this curved upwards arrow.
Oh, are you on your laptop now?
I'm trying to.
Can you screen share?
Maybe I could. Yes.
So just at the bottom in the center, it should say screen share for you.
Okay. So it's that arrow here. Can you see it?
I can't see your screen at the moment.
Nope.
Anyone see Rachel's screen?
No.
Nope.
Oh, I guess it's asking me which screen. Oh, share screen.
Yeah. That big arrow.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh my god.
I mean, when I preview the ad, it's fine, but
yeah,
I don't know what this arrow is.
It's just there.
The photo I usually get in that little bit there is the photo that I've used in my advert.
Yeah.
So are you maybe linking to some, like, you know, sometimes if you
I don't have a photo in this ad. I just used words.
Oh, maybe that's it then. Because it doesn't have a photo to display. It's just putting any image there.
But this is just a copy of these two. Like, it's just a copy of the original ad, which has my photo there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. As long as it's previewing.
Yeah, that's quite unusual. I've not seen it before.
Well, okay. I don't think it affects anything. I tried. At this moment, it's not a big concern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unusual, isn't it? Yeah, I could ask around some of the guys actually and just see if they've got any input. I'll take a screenshot of this and ask them. We'll get an answer for you. See if we can anyway.
Okay.
Right then. Do you want to just unshare your screen for me?
Okay. What I did before. Unshare. Okay.
It's all alone.
Share.
No. Don't worry.
Pause share. Pause share.
At the top.
No. Stop
in the
share.
middle.
Stop share.
There you go. Right then, guys. Anybody got any other questions? Harriet? Oliver?
No, like I've had questions all day and now I've forgotten all of them.
Write them down next week?
Yeah. Or I'll just message you all afterwards and be like,
yeah,
these are my 15 questions, guys.
These are all the questions I was supposed to say.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine if you do that anyway.
Rather than like ask a question, is more get a general consensus from you guys, like all of you really, to see how much time you're all spending like each week on everything, because I've obviously only restarted in the last couple of weeks or so, and I've been trying to like do enough time in the evenings, and I wondered how much other people are trying to stick to. Are they doing like an hour in the evening, a couple of hours?
Completely depends what you consider is like time for Project Q1. So some people would consider like a morning routine part as like steps towards Project Q1, if that makes sense. Or like reading as steps towards, or like commitment to their online business. So it completely depends what you consider as the time you commit to it, really. What activities. In terms of kind of just like Facebook ads, I don't know, following everyone on Facebook, checking out their go lives, etc. I'd probably say, unless you're writing like new copy or finding new ad pictures, which could take a lifetime depending if you find them soon enough or whatever, I'd probably say you're on track of like an hour a night or 2 hours a night, just as much time as you feel you need to commit or that you're putting enough energy into it. But so long as you're doing kind of the basics in terms of you're getting your morning routine down, you're focused on your goals, you are reading or listening to audio or both, and you're checking up on your ads to see what your cost per click is, and then you're just really kind of, I don't know, connecting with the community as well, because that is, for me, one of the most important things. Sometimes you get in a little funk and you're like, oh, I can't be bothered, or I don't want to do it, or you just really kind of put yourself down. But the more I feel that I disconnect from, or have in the past disconnected from the community or people around me, the worse it gets. So the more you kind of throw yourself in and get absorbed, obviously the more you're going to get out of it. But yeah, so it's a difficult question, because people ask me when they message me through ads and things like that, they're like, well, how much time do you put in? And I'm like, yeah, but it's not really time that I'm putting in if it's helping me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's so true. Because like people will message me during the day, and like whilst I'm at work, I'll be replying to people. I'm always checking all of you guys to see what your ads are, but I don't see that as time spent on it. What I kind of see as time is, right, got home from work, I'm sitting down with my laptop, I'm doing my adverts. But then when you've got an ad that's kind of working and you're not looking for more photos or looking for more ad copies, in the back of my mind I'm like, I'm not doing enough, I should be doing more, but then I can't think what else to be doing.
But then again, you're every day you're then messaging people that are contacting you, and you're spending more time on that side of it. And that's what I mean, it does completely depend on what you consider time spent on the business, because my best friend put it to me in a sense of like, her older sister has got 2 children, and she was saying, is this something that she could do? And I was like, it's absolutely something that everybody could do. And she said, yeah, but I don't want to commit that much time to it. She's like, how many hours a week do you put in? And I was like, well, realistically, we have kind of like 3 calls. I probably prepare for like an hour or 2 before kind of the Wednesday mastermind and the Tuesday mastermind now. And then I kind of, let's say an hour each day then. So I kind of totaled up to about 10 to 15 hours. And then my best friend sat there and she went, but you do way more than that. And I was like, no, I don't. And she was like, yes, you do, because you've got coaching calls and you've got messages that you're replying to, and you're jumping on calls with like Ryan or Rob or Richard or someone. That's not time that I see spent on the business. That's time spent on me. That's improving myself. So it completely depends on your kind of opinion of time, and just really kind of nailing down what is kind of work, what is life. And again, that comes down to the work-life balance. It's, do you have that time when you see a friend and you put your phone down and you're not focused on work, or are you still sat with a friend and thinking, oh God, I just need to message this person?
I'm always like that. Like if I see a message, I can't focus on something until I know I've replied to it.
Yeah, and it's playing on your mind, isn't it? Because you're like, oh my God, I need to reply. But that's kind of the 30-90 minutes kind of put it on airplane, or just put it out of sight, out of mind, and just really focus on being in the moment. But yeah, so in terms of how much time I spend on the business is completely different to your perception of time spent on the business. I
was just going to say, could I also ask, in terms of writing ad copies and that kind of thing, say we've got an ad and it is working, it's like getting the leads through. I think I've got one at the moment that's going through at like £2.50 or something, so I'm trying to bring it down a little bit more. Are you always, or should we always be writing new ad copies and making new ads, or if we've got a good one, just stick with that and do other stuff?
Again, that's kind of entirely up to you. I'd say that for Tom, he gets an idea every day. He pretty much writes an ad copy a day. He drives me crazy because I'm just like, you can't possibly run all these ads. Stop. Literally stop.
Still for yourself. Perfect. Work cut in half.
He said he's going to start selling if you're interested. But yeah, so if you've got that kind of, I don't know, that if the creative juices are flowing and it's easy for you to write them, go ahead. But if it is, I don't know, not so easy, it's not something that comes so naturally to you, don't force yourself to do it. Like, you don't want to end up resenting it. You want to kind of develop something that works. So I just kind of review your ad copy after an ad or during an ad, see if you think it's working, or get somebody else to review it for you. Send it up to your coach or someone and just say, look, what do you actually think of this ad copy? And just get someone else to have a look over it, because you can write something and it's incredible because you've written it. But when someone else looks at it, they can pick out the little things that maybe don't flow as good, or that if they were worded a different way, somebody else would be like, oh yeah, actually, and really connect with it. So yeah, I'd just say, it's down to personal people. If you are constantly kind of got your creative juices flowing and you want to write all the time, like I know Jason within the community, he's a blogger. That's not something I could personally do, because I'd just be like, oh no. So yeah, it's completely down to you, but just don't try, like, if you know an ad copy is okay, it could improve, then start taking steps to kind of look into copywriting and look into other avenues that can help you. Don't just sit on a okay ad copy. Like, you want to constantly keep developing and improving, and pushing your business.
Yeah. Thanks.
Anybody else?
I'd like to add that I started to do the morning routine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have to be honest. In the beginning, I thought it was like, what is this stuff? Like, why would I do this? And it does help a lot in the way you approach the business, because it's a completely different world from what I figured out. It's a different mindset that you have as an entrepreneur, so you need to have a different approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helped me, even though it's been only a week, it's helped me focus more, and empowered me.
Oh, that's really great to hear. And it's crazy because when somebody introduced you to the idea of a morning routine, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. How can it help me and my business that much? But until you start doing it and you're actually kind of doing it consistently, you don't understand the benefits of it. So absolutely keep that up, and I'm sure you'll reap the benefits of it, even just kind of, I don't know, day to day, in terms of like your motivation towards, I don't know, doing certain tasks, or how focused you are. You'll start to notice that that's kind of changed because you've had that time in the morning to just relax a little bit, focus on yourself and your goals, and really kind of hit the day running. So that's really great. I'm happy that you've implemented that.
Thank you.
Anyone else got any input or anything? Oliver, you're very quiet today. Oh, go on, Anna. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say this has nothing to do with the presentation. I haven't affiliated yet.
Okay.
But I'm considering affiliating with just going on the Econ. So can you just explain the commission just briefly with the Econ as opposed to the trifecta? Because I don't think I can before the trifecta. And I just think it'll be easier and faster for me to go on the econ. But I just want to be clear on what the difference is, and with regards to commission, just briefly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's okay. Right, so if I lose you, let me know and I'll stop and rewind. Right then. So when you join with a trifecta, your 2A lane, your 1A lanes are filled by yourself. So you get the 3 products and 2 of them are in your name. So that fills the 2 1A lanes. Then when you sell another product, you're initially straight away 2A. So when you start selling, you're getting double commissions. And then as soon as you get to 3A, you're getting triple, etc. When you start with just a Ukon, 1 product, you haven't filled these 2 lanes. So your first 2 sales need to go in these 2 lanes. However, you can't, when you come on with a Ukon, if you sell a trifecta, so that's the 3 products, that won't fill those 2 lanes. Even though it's 3 individual products, it will only fill 1 lane because one of those forms is in your name as the sponsor, and the other 2 forms are in the other person's name as sponsoring themselves. Okay. So you will need to make 2 direct sales to fill those lanes. Then you also need another direct sale to push you over to that 2A lane. So you're going to need 3 sales to 3 different people before you start getting that double commission.
And those 3 sales to 3 different people, can they be sales of anything, or do they have to be trifectas?
They don't have to be trifectas, they can be anything.
I just need 3 direct sales. Okay.
Yeah.
Not 1 direct sale and then 2 under them.
No, you need 3 direct sales. They have to be direct underneath yourself. They can't be group sales. They have to be direct. Yeah. Okay. And in terms of the commission, so it will affect the commission that you won't be getting 2A points straight away. But if you sold a K8 machine, so the water machine, in a 1A lane, you would get $340 commission on that in your 1A lane. If you sold an Ukon, I think the commission is around $40. So your commission is based on what you sell, the products you sell. But if you sold a K8 in your 2A lane, you would get $680. So it doubles. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily matter what you come in with. The only thing that the trifecta affects is your position within the ranking system. And then obviously kind of if you got the trifecta, your first sale, you're getting double that commission. Whereas if you get the Ukon, you're getting 1 point of commission for the first kind of 3 sales. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm a lot clearer on it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting quite good at explaining this, I must say. Do you have any other questions regarding it at all, Anna?
Me?
Yeah.
Regarding?
Just the commission structure or affiliating or anything like that?
No, it was mainly just that because I'm seriously considering affiliating with the Ukon. So it was mainly that that I just wanted to be a bit more clearer on. But everything else I'm sort of okay with. And I'm working on my affirmations and things like that. So
that's great. If you get yourself in that kind of business mindset and focused on your goals and law of attraction before you're even affiliated, that will just absolutely boost you as soon as you get in and really help you focus and drive yourself as well as your business. So that's really good that you're already focusing on all of that. Any more? Oliver, as I was saying a minute ago, you're being awfully quiet today.
I was just going to add to that. I'm sure I read somewhere, can you get, if you just call in on the Ukon, can you actually get, I don't know whether I've read this wrong or whether this no longer applies, can you get commission from machines?
So, you can get commission from machines. I think the way you might have read it is that if you don't ever buy Ukon, you can never get commission from an Ukon.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the way that works. Not entirely sure why, but that's how it works.
No, that's okay, yeah.
But in terms of just coming on with the UConn, if you sell a machine, you'll absolutely get commission.
There is a video in the frequently asked questions that actually explain that.
Thank you, Giancarlo. Anybody else got any questions for me? Anything at all?
Well, it's nothing important, but all of you guys meditate? Yeah?
Oliver's a no.
Really?
Anna's...
Because I tried it twice.
I think Anna's a maybe.
And the 2 times that I've tried it, I fell asleep.
Did you lie down?
Too good.
No.
That's good.
So I think I've got the first part done, like clearing my mind, but
yeah.
I just can't stay awake.
I used to be exactly the same. Do you do like guided meditation, or do you do like...
I've got Alexa, and Alexa has the apps on the virtual assistants.
I should did that.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's kind of like nature sounds and stuff like that.
Okay, so maybe try, I'm not sure if Alexa will be able to help you, I haven't got one, but maybe try a guided meditation. So that's basically someone talking you through kind of the process and to focus on your breath or focus on a certain part of your body. And that might keep you awake in terms of you're listening to her, so you're focusing on certain areas and certain things.
But also, how are you sitting?
Cross my legs.
You fell asleep sitting up.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Right.
Well, I actually fell like to the side once. That's how I woke up.
You were obviously so relaxed.
Or tired, maybe, because actually the 2 times that I've done it, it was after a 14-hour shift.
Oh,
yeah.
Toughie.
That might be as well then. Maybe try meditate on your day off to start with. I've meditated myself to sleep before. I'd done one kind of midday, and I woke up about 3:00 in the afternoon. Like, the hell has just happened? I'd literally lost like half of the day. But yeah, just try different kind of seating arrangements or different types of meditation, guided meditation, something that you focus on a little bit more. And maybe try it either in the morning or a day off work or something, so that you're not falling asleep. I mean, if you want to go to sleep, that's absolutely fine. If the aim is to go to sleep, then go ahead.
There's actually an app, and I think it's called Primed Mind, and that does 2 types of things, and one's based on wanting to be alert, and one's based on wanting to be asleep, which might be more beneficial if you find that you're falling asleep.
Cool, thanks.
What's it called?
Yeah,
Primed Mind?
I think it's called Primed Mind. I can put a link in the group if you want. I also don't meditate. I do a practice called TRE, which is called trauma release exercises, because I find meditation incredibly stressful, actually.
Okay.
I find if I focus on my body, like I obviously with having a history of an eating disorder, like focusing on my body and focusing on my breath is really, really difficult. And I do this practice called TRE. And although initially you have to do it through a trained practitioner, once you've done that 1 or 2 initial sessions, you're able to do it by yourself. And what it does is it's a way of releasing trauma from the body, and I find it puts me into almost a meditative type state while releasing trauma from my body, and you're not in control at all of what your body's doing. And there's some muscles in the sort of behind the pelvic bones that are called the psoas muscles. And you do a series of exercises that activate the psoas muscles. You lie down on the floor and your body tremors, shakes. I've spent 20 minutes licking a wound on my arm that I had from about 5-10 years ago. And it is crazy, and it puts me into a most calm state, and it's got rid of like aches, pains, all sorts of things. If anybody's interested in that sort of thing, I can give you a link to the people who do that. And I had considered doing like a video to show what it does. I wouldn't do a go live because it would just look really crazy, but to do like a time-lapse thing that shows like what happens when I do mine. And some of it is bizarre. It can look like you're having an epileptic fit and things like that, but you're not in control of what your body does. It does it all by itself. But I've found that to be incredibly helpful. And it's based on the fact that as humans, our conscious mind has stopped us from allowing sort of adrenaline to be processed in the body. And if you actually watch an animal after it's had a scare or a fight or flight moment, it will tremor. And that's it releasing that energy. But humans have stopped themselves from doing that. And we get that. Basically, it's the idea that the mind might forget trauma, but the body remembers. When it talks about trauma, it literally is things like if you've been put under anesthetic, if you've had an illness, a vaccination, medication, like all these things are considered trauma to the body. And it's just been, I find that really helpful. And I find that personally for me more helpful than mindfulness or meditation, which I really, really struggle with.
That's insane. I think me and Harriet are a little bit speechless. I'm looking at Harriet's face like, oh my God, I know.
I think my face kept going from to.
I mean, I've laid there and it's been so crazy sometimes that I've just busted out laughing at what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But it's insane.
That's insane.
But I will post a link
on my research list.
to, yeah.
That sounds really cool, actually. It sounds really, really interesting. Definitely going to have
especially for people who, because I think Lilibeth, you just started to read that How to Be a Badass at Making Money, and there's a section of it where it says if your body kind of rejects the idea of wanting to make money, that could be something that would really work. If you've got that trauma thing about being successful and having a successful business, that could be something that would really help people, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's definitely worth highlighting and letting people know about.
If I get brave enough, I will do a video and you can see exactly what is involved in doing
Maybe
it.
Don't do a go live because people might start calling the police to check that you're okay.
That's quite funny. So I don't know where
it's a bit like, I don't know if you've seen David Caldecott, what he does when he does like his flow, sort of like allowing himself to stretch and flow with it, which I think is fine if you can get into that flow state. But this, you don't have to. Your body literally just takes over and does it for itself.
I'm going to do this. This sounds awesome.
I will post a link to the website where the practitioner I contacted, and literally you have this first session, maybe 1, 2 or 3, but after that you're free to go all by yourself. You don't need to do anything else like that. I just can't tell you what the exercises are that trigger it because I'm not like a practitioner in that.
Yeah. So. No, it's totally understandable. And it's good that you've kind of, I don't know, highlighted where the mind/body can take you in that, because some people might do it and be completely freaked out by what is going on. So kind of the more transparent you are about it, the easier it is for people to do it. So that's great.
I love how hip this group has got recently.
Just with regards to what you said about how the mind-body connection, how that all works and how it can change things. I don't know if anyone remembers when David Caldecott, he first came on PT1 to talk to all of us. And I think he mentioned something about like your body is always trying to tell you something. Like if you have like a rash or if you get eczema and things like that, that's your body's way of trying to tell you something's not right, or you need to change something or your mindset or whatever. So I'm currently I've decided I'm going to do like an experiment with myself, because I struggle with body image and mindset. Yeah, I can be quite negative about myself or things in general sometimes. So I've been struggling with that, and I've noticed that over the years I've struggled with eczema around wherever, on and off for years. And when I was like really positive and in a good place, whatever, then it would go, I think. And now over the last few months, I've been sort of in a negative mindset, and not positive and things like that. So now what I've decided is I'm going to try and be really positive about the business, about myself, about life, whatever. I'm not like depressed or, but I need to be more positive in general and with work and all of that. And I've got my eczema back, and it's been like this for months. I thought it was maybe allergies or, feed issues or whatever, but I don't believe it's that, because I don't believe it's that, because I've had it when I was having certain foods and when I wasn't. So I'm just thinking of trying to just sort of do all the affirmations, be positive, all that law of attraction kind of stuff, and just see if that connects and if my eczema goes. And I'm hoping that it does. I honestly do think that this could be something. I'm hoping. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah.
You'll have to keep us updated on how you find that and what you kind of, learn about yourself as well in that process.
I've been struggling with it for months and months and months, trying everything, and I'm just thinking it could actually be because I've been in this negative mindset and then, bad self-esteem issues and things like that. And so I'm just sort of try and work on that. I just hope that actually works. And that always struck me what David said in that first PT1 when he introduced himself to us, and I just always remember that. So I'm going to try and do that. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if it does a lot more for you than just affecting the eczema.
Yeah, well, I agree with you on that. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, but just also for many other reasons also. So I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, you'll have to. I remember, I'm not sure whether any of you guys, I think a few of you might have been involved when I broke my arm back in, when was it? October, November, the end of October it was, in a car crash. And I remember when I first told Ryan, I was supposed to have like a call with him or something on the night, and I was like, Ryan, I've been in a crash, like I'll have a call with you in the next couple of days or whatever. And he said to me then actually that he was like, do a bit of research, because when you hurt a part of your body, it's connected to your mind and kind of the universe, and it's happened for a reason. I never actually found a definitive answer, but if anybody knows of one, let me know. But yeah, it was my right arm that I broke, and I think it was something to do with like, because it's my dominant hand, it was something like not being in control of my life or something, or needing to take control or adapt to changes. So yeah, I do kind of, and at that point, and around the end of October, I'd kind of not started to step away from the business, but I wasn't as focused and as driven as I am now. I wasn't focused on my goals. I wasn't doing my affirmations. I wasn't kind of pushing towards my future. I'd kind of just got a little bit lazy with it all. So yeah, kind of when Ryan said that and I'd done a little bit of research, I was like, okay, I need to get my arse into gear a little bit then. I'll take the broken arm as a sign and move forward. But yeah, definitely, Anna, let us know how you get on with that. It'd be really interesting to know what comes of it.
The other thing that's quite good for body image stuff is self-compassion. So we there's like a whole branch of, it's called compassion focused therapy, and it has been proven to be really good if you suffer from sort of body image or self-critical stuff. Like I always think any self with a bad stuff like self-esteem, self-confidence, the self-compassion is quite good. And there's a couple of writers who are quite big on that. Paul Gilbert is one. He sort of founded compassion focused therapy and has a whole book on that as well, and that can be quite helpful too. I found that quite helpful.
Self-compassion, okay.
Yeah.
I'll look that up.
Also, you have to buy the book, The Goddess Revolution.
I follow her on Instagram. I love her.
Buy her book.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've been wanting to, so yeah, well,
yeah.
She is amazing, so yeah, definitely I'll do that.
She actually posted something on Instagram today, which I was going to share with all of you guys, because it just totally kick-started my, let me see if I can find it. I read this and I sent it to my partner and was like, just FYI, I'm not going to pay you any attention for the next couple of weeks because I'm going to get totally in on the business. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. It's because her dad died when she was a bit younger. It's something about that. So she goes, when my dad passed away 6 years ago, I was 22 and living an unfulfilled life. I was in a job I didn't enjoy, a relationship I felt trapped in, and I was in denial that I was a full-blown bulimic, kidding myself that I had it all under control. Deep down, I knew I had more to give to the world. Deep down, I knew I was capable of so much more in my life. When he was given 4 months to live and died holding my hand at age only 58, I realised something. Sorry for swearing here, if any of you guys have sensitive ears. Life is too fucking short to be miserable. Life is too fucking short to do things that don't make you happy. And life is too fucking short to stay in relationships, jobs, cities, or anything else that make you miserable. Why aren't we all running like crazy towards what really makes us come alive inside? If we really do only have this one life, why waste a second of it feeling unfulfilled? Why waste a second of it caring what other people think of us and letting that stop us really going for it? Now I don't fear death. What I fear is not truly living. Since that moment, I've let go of caring so much about being judged. I've taken risks, gone for every dream, broken free from everything that has weighed me down, and continued to let go of things, people, and anything that does not support my best self. You are as free as you choose to be. You are only one decision away from changing your life. Go and live. And I just thought that was amazing. Like, I know that she wrote it about people's bodies, but I just put it into the business sense. I just thought, we really do only have this one chance. Why the hell are we not making the most of every moment? And I am sitting there watching TV for 4 hours every evening, doing sod all, finding TV programs to watch because I haven't got anything I actually want to watch.
Yeah, completely true, Harriet. And again, it's a different kind of, it's when you're first introduced to something like this, and when kind of Ryan and everyone say to you, cancel your Netflix subscription, what are you even doing on there? You're like, hell no, I've got how many series I need to watch? I'm not cancelling that. But as soon as like you realise that, you know what, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to have an online business and to achieve everything you dream and desire. And as soon as you realise that this is your chance, you've got to run with it. You really do run with it. And that's a really great post. And obviously it really highlights that this is it. This is, if whether you believe in a God or not, or whether you believe in the afterlife or reincarnation or whatever it is, this is your life right now. And
you don't come back and do it again.
Yeah.
Unless you believe in reincarnation, but it's still a whole other life. So you're not going to get this one again.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, definitely. And I think that's the thing that I kind of try and express on our masterclasses as well, is like, this is your only shot. Like, don't waste your time. What are you doing wasting time? Go and live. Like, and whatever it is that you want to do, just go and live. And
we're obviously all here for the same reason. We all want our businesses to be so successful. So we need to just be putting that time in. I think after you and I had that chat before I went away on holiday and realised that I needed to really kickstart everything all over again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If any of you guys get any funk and you need a chat, let me know. I'm quite good at getting you out of the funk. Oh, Rachie, I'm loving the little crazy hair up there. Right then, guys, anybody got any more questions, or are you happy to kind of leave it there for tonight? Happy to let it go? Let it go. I'm going to sing to you. I'm not going to sing. Right. Right then, guys, we'll catch up throughout the week and we'll jump back on a call next week as well. It's been great having you all. Thanks for turning up and thanks for your input. Any questions, pop me a message and I'm more than happy to go through things with you. Until next week.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.